Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Chugga, 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 chugga. Did this go twice? We'll find out. Hang on just a moment. Alright, so that's all good, so I'm not going to be chatting. Let me put away my keyboard. Let's go to this. Hi, Goya. And against my better judgment, I am not locking up Goya for this. So we will see how that goes. I have a feeling I'll regret that, but these are the decisions we make in life. Let's make sure my lighting is good as it's going to get. Make sure Goya is being Goya, because there's really no way around that. There you go. Yeah, I don't want to lock Goya up, but at the same time, this is tends to be a little bit precise and messy, and I probably don't want to necessarily deal with him throwing screws all over the place, but we'll see. We'll see what we can get away with. So, for the record, and camera is a little bit different today, so I'll just pop this up real fast and say, hi, hello, it's me, I'm here. But let's go ahead and we'll keep this down here. I've got my Keyblade and my Coke to kind of keep myself oriented so I can see where everything is at. Hopefully we've got enough lighting. I've got enough on my side, but we'll see what comes through on the stream. So, a couple things we got going on. So, the device we have came with instructions on how to disassemble and reassemble for an upgrade of the device that I have. So, I'm going to try and follow this to the best of my abilities and see what happens. I have not done this before, so this is all new to me. I get the concept, but this specific device I have not done. And let's see if I can push the mic out. Not more in the shadow, less in the shadow. There you go, Chris. Alright, so hopefully you can hear me just fine. I thought I'd try something different for the stream today, so this will be interesting one way or another. Consider it an adventure in streaming, and then from here, may or may not ever do something remotely like this again. So, that being said, a couple last things before I start playing some music. No, this is not a real can of Coke. This is a little USB drive, but I thought it'd be fun to play with perspective for you. And then, so what I got is this little box made in China, because it is the Chinese retro handheld. Inside, I have my foam little insert. It comes with a couple different kit pieces. So I've got everything that I need to kind of rebuild this. See if you can kind of see without some of the lighting, but I've got some tweezers, some screws, some bolts, some risers, some guitar picks for separating the device. So that is all stuff I'll get to a little bit later. I don't want to throw everything out and about, because Goya will be Goya, and then we'll have a lot to clean up afterwards. So we'll see where I'll break those out as needed. What else came with it? It came with replacement D-pads and buttons, which is unfortunate because I'll show you in a minute. I really like the color build that I have for the device that I got. It's something that I bought about a year ago, maybe a year and some change, but there were some significant upgrades to the device as far as what the hardware entails and what it supports. And so, what's nice about it, and I'll get to it in a minute. And then, so what else do we have here? We have a replacement power kit. I'll mention that afterwards. That's on the back half. That is a separate project, but it's all part of the same thing. It came with shields, and what this is for, with the old board that came with it, they basically let you turn it into a TV console. Actually, I think it probably looks more like that. Yeah, because now the holes line up, if you can see that or not. But basically, take the old board, put it inside of this, and now I have a device that I can hook up to my TV for retro gaming. So that's kind of cool. That was not necessarily something really thought about. And then last, what we have, the big heart of everything that we'll be goofing off with tonight. Hopefully not breaking anything, because I threw money on this, and that would suck really bad if I ruined everything. But, so the heart of all of it, and I'll keep the little black foam thing is basically where I'll keep all the screws and everything that way in case Goya does go on a rampage. It should hopefully mitigate some of the damage. But, and I'll leave that out there to this. That way I can put the console on there while I'm working. But, so the big everything with this is the fact that it changed the board. And the PCB, as it's referred to, I guess, has been changed out, which means the processor, the memory, like everything. Basically, the whole device has an upgrade kit. So this is what we will be installing today. And I'm excited for that because a couple different reasons. So, and I'll do a comparison between this one and the old one afterwards. But a couple different cool things that are going to happen with this. It did add a rumble feature to the device, so if any games support rumble, that's going to be kind of cool. But beyond that, it's just all the guts are upgraded, so new processor, more memory, all that jazz. So it's going to go from more or less, it supports games up to, I want to say right now all of PS1 games run just fine on the device. But what this is going to do is allow me to play Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, to a lesser extent, GameCube works on this as well. So it's going to be kind of fun to kind of get some more juice in here and really enjoy what I've got going on. So, and it's not a bad device by any means. I wasn't a huge fan of the software that runs it for the most part, but I do like the actual frame in the device. So this is what the device actually looks like. As you can tell, I've kind of got it built around the idea of a Super Nintendo. So the color scheme and all that, the Retroid Pocket, that I think about like 13 different builds. This is probably my favorite. That's some themed off of PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, GameCube, or GBA, Nintendo Famicom, but and then also the Japanese Super Nintendo, which the keys over here were what, red, blue, yellow, green. I'm going and see if I can boot this up. I have not used this thing in quite some time. I did charge it before we did all this, before I decided to stream today, just because I didn't want to try and reconnect everything and then realize or get confused whether or not it was broken or not. So, Retroid Pocket, wonderful splash screen. Have not booted this in a while, so hopefully everything is functioning. But come on, computer. Ooh, this is holding for quite a bit. That makes me nervous. Ah, there we go. And this runs on Android. I don't remember what version. I think it's like Android 8, maybe. So it's a nice little, and I apologize, it's going to be upside down for a split second. But it's got two things. One, you can just kind of cursor around and then pick the whatever software you want. Or if you want, you can kind of use like a mouse scroll emulation sort of thing. So kind of see all this, but grid based, whatever. What was it? The D-pad. This is a little bit goofy doing it upside down. But, I have like my PSP emulator, my Game Boy Advance emulator. Throw on RetroArch on here. All the good stuff. But normally you just go ahead and you boot up. And then kind of pick your games. What caught my eye with this before, and it looks like I have it booting into RetroArch. What caught my eye with this originally when I picked it up was just what it allowed you to load. The form factor was nice, and it seemed like it would be very, very friendly software. But turns out that me and Android, when it comes to handheld console emulators, whatever you want to call these things, not necessarily a match. So, see if I got any downloads or anything on here. And it came with something that kind of allows it to, I'm trying to think of a good way to, let's see, we got, let's go ahead and run Final Fantasy IV, why not? It seems appropriate. So you can see, we went ahead and we booted up, and now we're going to boot into Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy 2 or 4, depending on what you want to call it. Looks gorgeous, right? It's a nice little handy-dandy console, or handheld. Great way to explore old video games. Considering I don't have an analog pocket to play anything, this is absolutely going to be the best that I got right now. So why not invest and upgrade the board? So this runs well, but like I said, if you go to anything post PlayStation 1, you're not going to have a lot of luck, which is a bummer because Nintendo 64 games, there's quite a few of them that I actually do love to revisit from time to time. Super Mario 64 being one of the obvious ones. But with the upgrade, I should be able to play Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, GameCube, Nintendo DS apparently emulates really well on it as well. So I'll have a lot of options available to me. So let me go ahead and see if I can drop to the main screen. And if I remember how to do the brightness, which I really don't. I thought I could just hold something that turns the volume up. Yeah, that's still the volume, Chris. That's only the volume. Alright, let's see if I can go into settings and if I can manually mess with the brightness in there. But I guess it doesn't matter because when I switch the device, when I switch the PCB for the board, it's going to change the brightness anyways. So I really need to not worry about this. But one of my big bummers, I guess, with this was I was expecting it to be kind of a plug-and-play device. Like, once I got it, that I'd just be able to fire it up and enjoy what I got. But there's actually a lot of configurations and settings that I had to enable in order for this to operate at the level that I wanted it to. Just because by default there was a lot of... You can see the brightness really varies right there. So it's a nice display, but one of the big issues I had with it, as far as setting it up, in order for it to play Super Nintendo games or whatever without lagging, you actually had to go into a lot of settings and disable a lot of things running in the background in order for you to get it to play the way you wanted it to. But beyond that, you know, not a bad device. Again, Retroid Pocket 2. And I think, initially I paid $80 for it. So price point not bad at all for what you got. Or what I got for that matter. But either way, so that's that. Let me go ahead and shut this down, and then we will go ahead and start tearing this thing apart. Which should be interesting considering I've never popped this thing open before. See, power off, press and hold power 15 seconds before shutdown. Cool, I can do that. And shut down. So now that is all off, and I'll clean the screen after we're done. C4, once again, I will be following some disassembly instructions that they sent me, so if I screw this up along the way, oops, my bad, but hey, that's my money, not yours, don't gotta worry about it. Howdy, Maury. I am going to be disassembling this guy, which is a little handheld console thing, and I apologize, the camera setup's a little bit goofy, so keep on forgetting about some of that. So basically disassembling this guy, which, you know, is form factor after Super Nintendo, and upgrading the guts with, I just got in the mail today, and I know this is not Demon Souls, so I apologize, but I'm very excited for this. But swap out the guts with this, the new board, which will turn it from a Retroid Pocket 2 into a Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, which will boost it from being able to play, instead of just up to PlayStation games, I will be able to play Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, GameCube, Nintendo DS games, and all that on this little guy. So, I'm excited for that. And as I was just talking with you yesterday, me and Tech are friends. So, that being said, Goya is on the loose. What I mean by that is he is technically like very close to the danger zone. We can all see this going on over here right there. It's bathing time because he is well fed. Dude's got a massive tongue, but he's doing what he needs to stay nice and clean because I ain't bathing him. But yes, I am operating in the danger zone. Goya is very near and dear, and I can't push him away. Near and dear doesn't go together there, but it did. But yeah, so I don't want to lock him up, so it is what it is. Yeah, the board is very pretty, and I'm actually kind of excited too, because the other thing that this board adds to the table is it's hard to see necessarily, but this little foam goofy thing here is actually the rumble pad. Yeah, it's hard to... There we go. That big black tower thing is actually rumble that they added to the board, so if I have any games that support rumble, that'll activate it now. So that's pretty cool and exciting. Glandular problems. I need you to elaborate. No, I did not. I did just, you know, be me, but Drink some water, maybe that'll help clear me up. No, but pretty much everyone at my work has COVID, so that's always awesome. I don't think I have it again. Yeah, it is the tiniest can of Coke. I thought it'd be fun to throw it in there for perspective, but it's actually my favorite flash drive. Because, dun, 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 bing, all the best secrets that I hold in my life are on this flash drive. So if I ever die, this is the thing you want to find. This has all the secrets on it. And everything that ever meant anything to me in life is on this thing. Alright. That being said, let me go ahead and start tearing this thing up. And my audio and everything I have is lined up differently than normal, so that's probably why I sound off as well. And I hope the vocals are coming through my normal microphone and not my headset, because I'm using a different set of something today. But hang on, the other thing I'm going to do today while we're doing this is play some Final Fantasy music in the background while I'm tearing it down. And hopefully the volume is at a good level so it's kind of in the background but not drowning me out. Let's see if I can balance that out. Because normally I would do this while listening to music myself. So it's, whatever. It's for me as much as it is for everyone else. That way you don't hear me breathing heavily on the microphone. So hopefully levels are good. You can hear some Final Fantasy in the background. So what I'm playing is the top 20 Final Fantasy tracks. I skipped 20 because it is like a half hour of Chocobo theme music. So it's jumping into Final Fantasy Tactics Battle on the Bridge. So as we're doing this, I will kind of call those out. So first things first, I need to pop out all the little rubber booties. And this is all using tools that it came with. And be honest, they didn't give me a good tool for doing this. So that's kind of a bummer right out the gate. And I thought I would do it without any of my own tools, just to see like the kit that they included. Let's go ahead and get this out. And this is just kind of a hangout on chat while I do tech. So, whoop, and it's gone. So, ripping out these little rubber pegs. And I've got a little tomb over here that came with it, that way I can collect everything in. So how's your night looking, Maury? How was your day been, I should say? I got a little bit more snow, so I guess I should say thank you, but that littlest snowman is the best I got still. Come on, you stupid little peg. Alright, there we go. And almost lost the guy. Drop that over there. Let's see. Turn on another light to see if that helped. Yeah, I had fun with it. I got home and I was trying to figure out what to do with the snow. I was like, you know what? Or actually, really what it was is I was waiting on the contractor to show up that did my den, and he needed me to sign off saying the job was done, and there was a little bit of disagreement on what done is considered with him. For example, they wanted me to pay $150 out of pocket, non-reimbursed for the bifold wooden door that they broke. And then he thought it was okay, despite the fact that it cost like $150, to say, well, what if we go halvesies on it? Literally the words he said was, what if we go halvesies on it? It's like, no, dude, you broke my shit. Not you personally, but your team broke my shit, so you need to pay for it. Oh, the boss isn't going to like that. Okay, I don't care about your boss, dude. I care about the fact that you broke my wooden doors. So he didn't want to necessarily get everything signed off on. So little rubber things are out, so I had 4 of those. Next thing I have are the 4 screws. Very basic stuff right now. But he added some notes on the paperwork, and I took pictures of that, indicating that we agreed that I would purchase it and they would issue me a check to reimburse it within 3 weeks of when I give them the receipt for that. So that is that, and hopefully that'll be the last I have to deal with any of them, because that is garbage of the highest variety. Day is okay. Did some raiding. Will hunt for food soon. Money out of pocket. You said they. They are pretty shitty about that, because they disagree with the fact that they did the damage, and they're saying that, well, how do we know that this occurred by our guys? Our guys didn't report it. Yeah, of course your guys didn't report it. They're not going to admit that they broke something. Final Fantasy song number 18 is Tenacity from Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Oh, actually, I forgot I could just blow this up for full screen. Kind of make that a little bit easier to see on that top right corner. Yeah, I don't know. Dude was... And it's just funny, because he's like, well, we could reimburse you if you leave us a positive review. It's like, were you happy with our service? It's like, well, honestly, right now, no. I'm happy with the finished job, yes. But it's been nothing but grief the entire time. And I gave my insurance company that this all originated with a heads up email, which I think I mentioned to you at one point, but gave them a heads up that there was issues specifically with the repayment of shit that they broke for me. And so I've already got, that started, if you will. Alright, so bear with me. I need to figure out better lighting, but whatever. I just don't want to disturb the Goy, and I think I will if I try something. But hang on, we're going to move some lighting around. Hopefully, Goy doesn't freak out. He might be fine now, but I'm worried about him doing his rhinoceros attack on everything that I have for streaming. So it's almost a little better, a little worse, whatever. Which is weird, because it's very bright on my side. So the next part that we're going to have to do is pry this apart, which was always my least favorite part, because what happens when I'm doing this is that... Let's see if I can crank brightness. There we go. That's much better. Much better, computer. Alright, good. So, yeah, 4 months. You're not wrong. Yeah, it was the middle... Well, 3.5. Yeah, I know. And he's like, well, do you have Google? I can log into Google for you, so you know where to go for it. And it's like, dude, really? Really? I was like, how about we worry about fixing my shit? So, next thing I'm going to do is pop this off, just because it comes right off, and that's going to cause issues later otherwise. Throw that in the little bin to protect it. That's just a little analog stick. But the next thing I got to do, and the part that I said I don't love, is prying apart the case, because as you can see, the seam is basically non-visible right now. So it's just a matter of using one of the guitar picks that it came with to kind of wedge in there and start separating this, which I really hate this part just because it's a manual process. And there's a good possibility I'll end up breaking the clips that hold the plastic together on the inside. But whatever. For breaks, not the end of the world. There's worse things that have happened to me. Like my entire den breaking. So anyway, so yes, they want a positive review, and they're trying to hold me hostage for it. So, we'll see. Well, we could reimburse you if we had a positive review. I go over really easy. My boss would better swallow that pill. It's like, what the fuck are you... Why is this my problem? Y'all broke my shit. I just want it fixed again. I hate doing this part so much. See, and with my... I really should have broke up my own tools. Ooh. Final Fantasy VII Fight On, which is the battle music for bosses, comes in at... What number is this? Final Fantasy VII Fight On at number 17. And these are all new to me, by the way. I did not look up what songs are going to be where on this. So I can kind of get it cracked apart. Right, you're going to hear a nice loud pop when I'm doing this. Ah, this is annoying. But hey, so what kind of food are you planning on foraging up? Because I need to live vicariously through you because I had soup. And soup is not that exciting. It was actually clam chowder, if you will. Which I don't even know if that's considered a soup. It's a chowder. Come on, you bastard. Alright, so get a little bit more aggressive with it. Looks like I split it at the corner pretty well. Chowder. You know, if I had a proper knife or sword, I could really just jam this thing wide open while we're talking Final Fantasy. Ah, there was a crack. I don't know if that was a good crack or a bad crack, but it was a crack regardless. Oh, there's little clips. Okay. So I got around one of the... Oh, ooh, that was a good crack. And it looks like they changed the version. See, I'm making some headway. This is now the Final Fantasy VII Remake version of the same song. So they're still considering it number 17, which is interesting. Ah, good. Look at that, nice and split open. Have a container of Uber chicken noodle in the freezer. I call it Uber because the noodles are huge and big chunks of chicken. So it's not that you called Uber and they provided you with chicken noodle soup. Uber is in the former term used by game communities to celebrate something being massive or huge. Oh, come on, you blimey bastard. That's what you want. Well, you have your chicken noodle. I had my clam chowder, and I guess it is just kind of a soupy kind of period. Alright, so we got the bottom completely cracked open, which is nice. Now, why is it not just giving up? I won, dude. Let it go. I can see your sweet insides. Let me eat them. Ah, there we go. Alright. So, I think we got everything. Let me drop this back down. So, good. It's a good time to have battle music going. So once we get inside, I'm tethered by the power cord, which goes to the battery, which is the entire back of the case. So, get my Coke can back in there so I know my range. So now I need you to come apart, sir. Come on. Wow, this music makes me feel way more epic while I do this. Even though I'm just obliterating my way through this. Come on. You bastard. Wiggle out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Almost. Come on, you bastard. Oh, you're like 3/4 out, but it's jamming against the speaker there. Oh, you just come out already. You've already lost. Accept your fate. Alright, good. So we have the battery done. So the battery, the back case, all that's off. Uber is big, as we used to say. Yeah, Uber used to be like, yeah, big, giant, awesome. I remember good old EverQuest days when things were Uber. That's when we'd celebrate. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's the, for the card. Huh. Interesting. I don't remember seeing that when I was comparing it prior. So I do need to remove... So I'm just looking at the bottom. There's a memory card slot. Do need to remove the memory card. That way I can use it in the new board. Oh, you were... These pliers that they gave me or pinchers suck. There's no grips. They're not metal. They can't even take out a frickin' SD card. That's ridiculous. Man, this thing does not want to give up. Oh my goodness. Why am I having so much trouble with a freaking card? Partially because there are no grooves on this thing. I'm not going to tolerate this cheap plastic nonsense, so give me 30 seconds. I'm going to get some actual metal tweezers. I'll be right back. Enjoy. Ah, yes. How long was I going to mess with those substandard tools? I don't know. Which is hilarious to me because I have fancier tools. Like, I have an entire, like, massive kit for doing this. And I was like, I'll just use the garbage they send me. No. Bad idea, Chris. The screwdriver might work. But... So, my preference is this nice angled tweezer. And it's hard to see, but it actually has ridges on the inside, which is nice. And then I just got some straight ones too. Pinchies with some ridges on them. Anyways. We use those exact tools. Good to know. Howdy, Jesse. Jesse, is this something you normally do at work? Because if I had known that, I would have shipped this out to you. You could take care of all this nonsense for me. Anyway, so... Hold on, watch how much easier this is. Oh my god, first try. Now that plastic dicking around nonsense. So is this, I don't even remember the size of this thing. So this tiny little piece of plastic that I have, this SD card. Now of course I can't pick it up off the table either. I'm ridiculous right now. 128 gigabytes. So we'll go and we'll put that over in our coffin. Familiarish. Yeah, so Jesse, this is not something you work on at work, though, because this is a retro handheld, the Retroid Pocket, while listening to some Final Fantasy VII Fight On music as number 17 for best Final Fantasy songs of all time, as proven by science, as the YouTube video indicates. So now that we're in here, we actually just got to start unplugging some stuff. So, just kind of check my notes real fast. Just make sure I'm not screwing anything more up than I have to. And just to keep myself on track, I made an actual numbered list of things to do. Also, bad news, Borderlands 3 is not for me. Design isn't going to mesh with me. Well, that's a bummer, dude. I adore those games because they are just a freaking riot. So screws, rubber pads, pry apart shell, left stick, unplug the battery. So I need to undo the speakers, the antenna, the LCD, and the analog stick. Alright. So we'll start with the antenna for Wi-Fi. So we're just going to start with this guy. What didn't work with you with Borderlands 3? Like, what's not jiving with you? As much as I like my curvies, I don't think this is the right one for the job. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to the straight. Just because it has a lot better grip on it. They're a little bit like flat pads. Alright, so we've got the Wi-Fi antenna disconnected. Good. We have moved on, Final Fantasy-wise, to Via Purifico from Final Fantasy X. This is when you were solving puzzles. I don't remember if this is when you're in the when you get locked under... Wow, it's been that long. I remember you getting locked up at one point where you're playing as Yuna and you're locked up underneath somewhere. I don't remember where. So this is the LCD display screen. So let me just undo this ribbon, try to flip that up. Slide this out. Alright, so the screen's undone. Let me undo the speakers. Probably just do this by hand. Come on, you bastard. Doesn't feel balanced for solo. The 1 versus 100 approach, also losing track of everything in the environment. What do you mean losing track of everything in the environment? How far have you played? We'll start there. Have you met Vaughn yet? Oh my god, they really wedged these fucking things in there. And if you get paid to do this, why am I doing this for free, damn it? There we go. Teamwork. Good job, guys. Alright, so that's that. Let's go ahead and take out that speaker. Throw you in the morgue. Alright, so we got speaker out. Ribbon cable. We got the Wi-Fi antenna done. What else do we got here? We've got the other speaker. Let's go ahead and pop this baby out. Alright, so that speaker's done and out. We'll plug that in after we're done with everything else. People are blending with walls and stuff. Just met him. Yeah, so if you get to the point of when you get Vaughn, that's when the game starts to really kind of be its own thing and you get a feel for it. Before all that is really tutorial. So like from this point on is when the game is the game. But yes, it does not get any less chaotic. So I just unhooked the left analog stick. That's what this little ribbon cable is. So I got both speakers. I got the Wi-Fi. I got the display. I got the analog. So to my understanding, that's everything that I need to get to unhook. Hey, howdy, Pocket. Didn't see you sneak in. I am disassembling my Retroid Pocket, which is this guy right here. Because there's an upgrade kit for it that I got. So what we're doing is swapping out the PCB that you see here, which is the default board, for the new and improved one. So just kind of a side-by-side-y. Yeah, I know they just look like boards, but like that's some stuff like I've got. This is going to be a rumble kit. These are all the processors and shielding, stuff like that. But the big difference with it is that it gives you the ability to play more recent consoles as far as the handheld device, which includes now it'll be able to play Dreamcast flawlessly, PSP flawlessly, GameCube flawlessly, DS flawlessly. I think that is it. So really I'm adding support for 4 additional consoles on this. And while we are tearing this down, Pocky, while I'm rebuilding it, we are listening to a YouTube channel that's called the Top 100 Final Fantasy Songs. And we're just listening to the top 20. Number 20 was Chocobo theme, so we kind of skipped that because it plays a bunch of different iterations of it, and I didn't feel like that. And now we are at number 15 with Fight with Seymour from Final Fantasy X. Yeah, GameCube should be fun because there's a couple games on there that I really adore. Not a huge library that I'm familiar with, but I know I loved myself some Animal Crossing proper on GameCube when that came out. But then beyond that, I also enjoyed myself. What was the one that I'm thinking of? Phantasy Star Online was really good, so I look forward to playing that again. I look forward to trying out Wind Waker because I'd never played that. And I wanted to play it on the Wii U because they came out with the Wind Waker HD, but I just never got around to it. Right now I'm just unscrewing everything for the PCB, which includes the shoulder buttons. But let's see, what other good GameCube games? I hear everyone talk about Eternal Darkness. I never played that, so that'd be kind of fun to goof off with. Super Monkey Ball was fucking wonderful. Look forward to playing that again. Tales of Symphonia is an RPG, the first Tales that I played. Probably that a lot of people in the US played, but it's the first one that I played, and then I played it 3 times in a row. Like, literally, once you finish it, they give you what's called grade points to unlock more stuff in a shop, which allows you to alter the game with, like, say, double XP, keep all spells, keep all armor, stuff like that. Different New Game Plus items. So it incentivizes you to play again, and you get cool little perks when you do it. So that was, so that was fun. So I did that, like I said, a total of 3 times back to back to back, and it was a hoot. I don't hear the music. Interesting. Let me turn it up and see if that comes through. So, can you hear the music at all right now? Because on my side, the levels are showing that it's going up and down and everything. If you're not hearing the music, that's very interesting, and I wonder what I need to tweak. Huh. Well, that's a bummer. Let me go back. So why is the music not coming through? What did you guys break? Because clearly it wasn't me. Let's see. Let's go to properties. Desktop audio, stream track. Nope. So what if I turn this all the way up? Now, do you hear like the Windows beep right now? Or is that not coming across? That's a bummer. Okay, so Windows beep is good. So let's try very softly. Huh. Alright, let me go ahead and crank that. Let's see what comes through then. And I apologize. I'm going to try and not blow anyone's ears off with this, but I don't know why this is coming through the way that it is. I wonder if there's something else I can change. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, gonna play some music. Anything coming across for y'all? So, barely hearing the music. It's so wild on my side, it's jumping off the freaking level. Alright, excellent. So you can hear the music. Question is, can you hear me just fine, though? Because if you can hear me just fine, I'll go keep where it's at. It's a little bit loud on my side, but I can make do. Alright, cool. Come back down a little. Perfect. Thank you, Jesse. I much appreciate you dealing with the fact that I don't know what I'm doing here. So, drop the music a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear it. Still hear me. Alright, so what about now? How is this a good balance level for the music versus the Chris? Alright, cool. So, Pocky, how about you? How's it sound on your side? Or Maury, how do I sound? I know, unfortunately, you have to still hear me talking. But aside from that, how is it coming across? So this is track number 19, Battle on the Bridge from Final Fantasy Tactics. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so I think this is the last screw. So it looks like the board is separating itself at this point. Come on. I love magnets. Magnet screwdrivers. They make things so much easier. Alright, so I think that is all the screws. Looking over the board, I don't see any more. Like I said, the corners are coming right off, so that's done. So let me go ahead and put those away in the bucket. Alright, so let's... Looks like I can lift this out. Alright, good. So currently, everything's going according to plan. Which means something will go horribly wrong at this point. So here we go again. We have the two boards. Just for comparison. Look pretty identical, right? This is most certainly a Kingdom Hearts key. Thank you. That is also my other thing to stay inside the boundaries. I'm using this as to say, hey, Chris, if you go beyond that, they can't see what's going on. Rubber gloves. Nah, I can't do things on my hands. It drives me insane. Thank you, though. Yeah, if I shock it, I'm fine. My house is overly humidified right now due to it being winter. Thank you for the precautions, though. I appreciate it. Track number 18 is Tenacity from Final Fantasy XIV. But yes, this is my Keyblade. It makes me very happy. I just got it later this year. I want to say September. September, October timeframe. So, as you can see, it's mostly the same from device to device. Big difference is they changed everything as far as like the actual circuits and memory and stuff like that. Is the big change. Other than that, all the utilities are still... Ooh, what is this guy? That's new, and I don't know what that is about. I actually don't even know what connects to that. That's interesting. Wonder if there's something they're planning that didn't actually come to fruition. Anyway, going up top, we have the HDMIs. I think this guy. This is the HDMI out mini. We've got the USB-C. We got the rumble. Got the power. Here we didn't have the rumble. We had whatever the heck's going on here. Don't know what that one is. Power, speaker, the SD card, microphone jack, display, and then that's going to be the other speaker. Looks like they're actually a little bit loose with the epoxy on this one. But whatever. If it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. And I was told online when I was reading about this, and I don't know if I necessarily want to do it. Like, I'm just going to leave it as is right now. But supposedly, with the rumble pad thing that's here, it's going to press against the back side of the case, and that's going to be on the left-hand side of the device. So I'm going to feel most of the rumble based on my left hand. Some people have been moving it from here to like here, where there's an opening, but it's a little bit more centered out, but I'm just going to leave well enough alone and not mess with that. So, alright, so we got everything disassembled, everything removed. Unfortunately, the other thing I need to do, as much as I... Oh, it's falling apart. Yep, and it's still falling apart. Is that I need to replace my beautiful, beautiful Super Nintendo style buttons with the new kit. So, let me replace those, and then I will get back to the boards and install that. So, put this down so I'm not scratching at the screen. So, this is the analog stick. I still need that to be there. But I do need to remove my beautiful buttons. Just because they added more tactility to them. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt to get a refresh. Just because I have had this for a year and put some time into it. So, there goes my beautiful buttons. Little mesh to catch it. Let's see. Let's go over here. Feels like my whole job. Well, that's pretty cool. Honestly, I'm kind of jealous of your job then. There's the D-pad. Because my job is playing with Excel and boxes. So this is a genuine upgrade for me for a day in the life. So that's display. So if I ever want to swap out the display, it's actually not that hard to get to that. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so let me go ahead and get my new buttons. And also, now that I have these, I really wish I didn't order what I did. I had the choice of black or white, and for whatever reason I went with white. And that's, I think, one, going to get gross and dark and gummed up real quick. But beyond that, I just don't know how well it's going to go with the gray. So that is my D-pad. Let's go ahead and throw this down there. Lining it up. Goy just jumped off. So that's good. Except I have a Goy hair. And you joke about, or comment about, I gotta worry about static. You know, if I was dealing with other people's devices, yes, but this is my own, so worst comes to worst, I ruin everything and then I just cry myself to sleep, so. Or, you know, I cry publicly on the stream. That too. My job is fixing people's fuck-ups with their payroll. That sounds easy. That sounds more or less like what I do, except, you know, with everyone's hopes, dreams, and Christmases. So we're on to number 17, which is Fight On from Final Fantasy VII, which, as it played earlier, turns out that they will give all the renditions of the fight song. Where is... Oh, sorry. Oh, I actually have a new cap for the analog stick, too. That's white, so it'll all match. So just for comparison's sake. And this is, like I said, this is me just goofing off doing this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so if I'm boring, y'all just yell at me. I make no promises. So, I have my vastly superior Super Nintendo. And then now I have just white buttons. Boo. I kind of want to just throw in the original, the Super Nintendo ones, just to see how different it actually feels. And if it's necessary for me to swap it out, or if I can just make do with what I had. Because I'd be okay with that. So we got that. Now I just got to get... Or maybe I could just swap the backing pad, this thing, and it'll work with the old buttons. Who knows? Whatever. One way forward, and that is by doing this stupid, mushy little jelly thingy on the peg. No, you popped off on this one. Damn it. Alright, there we go. So I've got the pads in place. That is all the button swap that I need to worry about. I need to get the shoulders back in, which I did not intend to take out. Hold on. So left, right. This is right. Alright, so that's the right. Let's get the left back in. Goya, you almost didn't make that jump, buddy. He tried jumping up and the keyboard was there. Oh, here comes my first test. No, sir, you need to back off right now. Now is not Goya time. See, my job's keeping a furry 12-year-old happy. That sounds terrifying. Had to fix a Note 20 Ultra today where only half the repair was covered by insurance. So did you only do half the fix, or, I mean, how does that work? So now if you go to the hospital and the insurance only covers half of it, you still get the full treatment. Oh, this is the fun part, isn't it? So now I need to install the new board. So, I need to do this. Except, I need to get this. Alright, so I got that one. Got that one. Got that. This rubbery thing up top. Oh, damn it. I should have done the headphone jack first. Shit. Alright. Charged the customer for the back glass repair. Screen was covered by insurance. Alright, so this is goofy, because I need to... Alright, so I got the headphone jack in first, because that is something that sticks out. So I did that. Let me pull this out. Let me pull this ribbon out. Oh, you bastard, don't you do this to me. There we go. I actually got a little bit more rough there than I should have, but... Alright, so why aren't you settling down? You kind of lift it up and kind of... What am I missing? So currently it's not going down all the way. It feels like it's on the right side. Oh, there we go. Oh, the shoulder buns are causing an issue. Gotcha. Okay, good. So basically, the issue I'm running into is that, if you can see down here, basically the shoulder buns just need to be pulled up, that way you can drop down all the way. Alright. No, it's still spongy. I don't like that. I guess when I start screwing it down, it should keep everything in place, so. Alright, let me connect the display. Rubber gloves. Are you kidding me? How do you do this with rubber gloves? I can barely do it with my own fat fingers. You want me to put gloves on? It's like eating a steak with a balloon on your tongue. Alright. Sorry, that's an analogy for something else I was told before. But I still feel like it's appropriate here. Son of a bitch, Chris. You beat the Deacons of the Deep in Dark Souls 3. Now you're lost. Well, surely there's somewhere you haven't been before. How about you backtrack? If I remember correctly, the Deacons of the Deep was kind of a dead-end encounter. And you had to go back from there to somewhere else. So it's a lot of backtracking now. Son of a bitch. They're kind of... Why isn't... This side doesn't want to comply, fucker. Assimilate! Get in your hole! Fuck it. Nope, still not working. God, this must be driving you insane, Jesse. Watching me fuck this up as bad as I am. I know, like, when I try and watch someone use a computer and I'm like, just double click on something, they're like, how do I drill down? It's like, what the fuck is a drill down? Alright, I think we're good there. I think you have to go back outside, Pocky. Oh, that's right, Jesse. You finished Dark Souls 3, didn't you? About 90% of it. Yeah, you definitely got past the Deacons of the Deep. Yeah, see, and I know if I did this for a living, I'd be better at it, but normally I don't deal with things this tiny. Like, this ribbon cable is ridiculous. It's like the most adorable ribbon cable I've ever seen, but it's still driving me fucking insane. Like, you're adorable, dude, but no. There we go. Okay, that one is definitely down right. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over real fast just to see. Okay, everything. And I have a replacement cap for that. So. Do I have one replacement cap or two? Oh, that's going to annoy me. I think my stick is going to be permanently that color. I don't think I have a replacement. Oh, that's going to be obnoxious. Alright, whatever. Continue on, one thing at a time, right? Recommendation, it's easy to rip a ribbon cable with tweezers. No, trust me, I've definitely broken stuff like this before. So that would not be new to me. I might throw a couple screws in just to get things so I'm not pinching them. I think that, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a couple screws. Because this side still isn't going down, but we'll see. Alright. So let's put a couple screws in just to keep things lined up in place while I kerjigger this thing around. That is an official term, kerjiggering. Alright, so... Oh, wait, shit. Yes, I do this. Okay. And I also don't have the ideal space for doing this either, which is also part of the problem. So if I use a forced death channel thing, do you have to huck your system into the toilet? You know, I was I was genuinely thinking about that before the stream, because I was thinking there's going to be some asshole I know that's going to call me out on having a forced death option and not playing a game. And I was trying to figure out what I would have to do in that case. So I decided what forced death means is I come to your house and I murder you. So use it at your own discretion. Alright, so I got one. Oh! That's probably not supposed to do that, is it, kids? Alright, let's try that again. Alright, good. So I got clicky shoulders, which makes me happy. It means I did not completely break it. We have moved on to Final Fantasy X's via Purifico. I hate that word. Never been good with it. I like the song. I remember, as I was mentioning earlier, it's when you're trapped underneath Bellevue? Bell something. Alright, so let me... You know, I don't like this ribbon cable. I still think I screwed it up. Because it's not lined up, and it's not flush with being down, so... I definitely fucked something up there. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Fit like a glove this time. Alright, so that makes me feel a little bit better. So let me try putting... I was told at this point I should test the power just to make sure that it boots, that I didn't break the screen or something. So we're going to test the power, then undo the power and finish everything else. But there isn't a lot of steps, so I don't think I really broke it. Alright, so we did all that. Let's just drop this kind of on top. Just so I can kind of flip it over. See if I can hit the power button. And the power button doesn't work. Shit. Did I not line that up correctly? There we go. Oops. That's why it wasn't dropping down all the way. Alright, so let's see if we can hit the power button and get some boot. Oh, there's a rumble. That's new. Uh-oh, Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, which means the new board is taking. Yeah, it's too much glare. Oh, look at that. Oh. Final Fantasy's greatest hits number 15 is Fight with Seymour from Final Fantasy X. So, the splash screen's good. So I think this is going to be a go, but man, are these buttons gross. Ugh, I don't like it at all. I might swap them back after the stream, but let me make sure everything works first before I get crazy with it. It is hanging on the screen for a while, though, isn't it? It's probably because not everything's hooked up. But we have power. The screen works. So we are in good order to start, and the battery's at 69%. Can I get a nice in here? Anyone? Anyone? Nice? Ah. No love. Alright. Nice. Thank you, Jesse. I'm a child. I'm sorry. Alright, so battery is good. Let me put that to the side. Shoulders are still good. Okay, so let's get back to reassembly. So at this point, I need to reconnect the Wi-Fi. Which, you know, I really don't like this little rubber dongle thingy that just hangs out there. Get in there. Oh, you cheeky fuck. Come on. Alright. So, line that up. Just like that, my device has Wi-Fi again. Ching. Can't actually see that. That's a thumbs up. Alright, so Wi-Fi is a go. Let's get my little speakers in place. This one goes on this side. Or not. Yes, it does. So I am very excited to play this, and I will take any recommendations that folks have for GameCube or Dreamcast games, as those tend to be a little bit more overlooked in my pantheon of gaming, as I grew up mostly on the PlayStation 2 during that era. I remember playing Code Veronica on the Dreamcast, the Resident Evil Code Veronica, which I think is the last Resident Evil I ever played. Alright, get that speaker kind of in there. Good. Happy with that. So I look forward to trying games like, what was I mentioning? Eternal Darkness, which I'm excited for because I've never played and I've heard nothing but praise for how amazing that is. So let's see, where's this? These speakers are so tiny. Like, this is ridiculous. Kind of like my mom's dog that I was with over Christmas. That thing was all of 5 pounds. My cat could have kicked its ass. Alright, so got that in place. Did I put that other speaker in backwards? No. Okay, we're good. Man, like I was saying earlier, it does feel way more epic putting this together with Final Fantasy music yelling at me. There we go. Alright, so that's back in place. Don't know if that SNES purple color option. Well, they did for the buttons. So we had these, and I know the color's a little overlit right now, but I mean, these are, let's see if it'll focus better with that out of the picture. But yeah, so I mean, this is Super Nintendo blue and purple, at least in the US this was the Super Nintendo colors. So this is, you know, if I want to go back to something, that'll be what I go back to, because I'm not digging the white. That was a very bad decision on my part. Alright, so I got that. See, speakers are in, Wi-Fi's in. the analogs in. I still don't know what the heck this one is for over here, because that's not mentioned anywhere. But we'll continue. Alright, so let me go ahead and get all the screws in place, because I think that is everything that I need for now. ZL. Oops. Shit, I did put a screw in that didn't need to go yet. Hopefully I didn't fuck anything up with that. We have a new Final Fantasy track. Don't know the name of it, but I can tell you it's from Final Fantasy VII right now, just by hearing it. Come on. Shit. Might have hurt the... Just might have stripped the slot on this one. No, okay, we're good. Okay, good. Oof, that got me worried for a second. Final Fantasy XIV is Genova Complete for Final Fantasy's top 100 songs. And it is counting down to number 1, which, as I mentioned earlier, I actually don't know what songs are coming up. So I'm actually kind of interested as we listen what is going to show up. I wonder if we're doing Genova Complete, if they're going to do the Final Fantasy VII Remake version as well. See, I appreciate the stream. This is really fun for me to hang out and chat with you folks. Yeah, likewise. I like this. This started as kind of like a personal reset for me, as a way to socialize, given my personal life and all the whatever is going on during the last year. But it's just a nice way to hang out with friends, especially during the pandemic. Like, I know it's easier for me because all I got to do is chat it, you know, like verbally just talk, and appreciate everyone hanging out. But even like folks like Pocky, where he's a friend that lives, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes away. But with family and life and stuff like that, and COVID for that matter, getting together isn't necessarily easy or possible. So it's an easy way for him to slip in and hang out for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever he's got, before he has to hang out with his kids, put them down for bed, do work, whatever the case is. So I just really enjoy it from a socializing aspect. I mean, let's be honest, like, this is something that I would probably still be doing because it has to get done, but, like, a lot of the games I've been playing on stream, or have played on stream, really they're just bullshit games that way I can chat with people while playing them. Like, I'm not playing RPGs that I love or anything like that, with the exception of Demon's Souls. Because that's a game where dialogue is at a minimum and you can explore and do what you want, and, you know, it's not the end of the world if I chat with people, because a lot of times the games I like are very story driven, and if I stop to chat with folks, it might be while other dialogue is going on. I don't like necessarily reading narration to people, which, you know, I'll do if I need to, but those aren't the ideal games. Playing games like Demon's Souls are probably one of the better options, or like how you're playing some of your racing games. Was it Wreckfest you were playing? The upside of those is that without it being narratively heavy, you know, you don't have to necessarily worry about talking over dialogue or anything like that, and those are more so the games that I like to play on stream, so I can just hang out with people. In short, I love you folks. You should always hang out. Unfortunately, the COVID, the pandemic, has changed the way a lot of things have to be. So, this is the social that we get for now. Is me screwing stuff together very poorly. Which, Jesse, I hope if I ever need a job, this is a good enough resume that you'll hire me. That I'm capable. I did not break anything. I was gentle-ish, but I did not wear my PPE gloves, so. Ooh, 13th greatest Final Fantasy track of all time via science is Force Your Way from Final Fantasy VIII, which is an amazing track. I really, really, really enjoy Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack. It's probably, in my opinion, the best complete soundtrack from start to finish, which I know is heresy when Final Fantasy VI exists in the world, but from start to finish, Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite soundtrack. There are very few songs that I don't love on it. There are some killer standouts in there. Oof, I shouldn't have to press so hard. It's such tiny little screws. So I think that is all the screws. So, oh yeah, that's gonna drive me insane. That gray. So I have two options. One is I can keep the dark gray, so then I have parallels, which I might do that, or they gave me a white one to replace the cap, and then I have basically like a snaggletooth over here of that one. I don't think I like that, so I think the only way to save this is by dropping this guy in there. So I don't know where you all feel about that, but I feel like this might be the better option. Alright, so what else do we got going on here? So we've got everything assembled-ish. So last thing I have to do is screw on the back, which means plug in the then we can move on to the second project here. Which, aside from setting this up, which will be fun, but I don't know if I can really capture that on screen, is using the old board to turn it into a consoleizer, is the term that I read it was. Okay, sorry, I am doing it the right way. Just a little tricky to line this up, though. Oh, you are a bastard, aren't you? You are quite the bastard. Why do you have to be so snug? So the problem is that there's this damn little screw right there. Yeah, I wish the focus would make up its mind where it wants to focus, but... So I've got this stupid little screw down here. That is causing me all the grief in the world. Erasing button box afterwards. Not sure you saw it or not. No, I did not see erasing box. Let's see. Button box afterwards. I'm not sure what the heck a button box is. What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate? You know what to do. Alright, come on. Why is this such a pain in the ass? There we go. Alright. Good. So, like I said, that one screw is just a freaking problem child. So that being said, I should be able to just pinch this all together. The clips take care of half the battle. Which, hopefully you heard those snaps. We are on Final Fantasy's Greatest Hits number 12. Let the battles begin from Final Fantasy VII. Which is the normal combat music. See, external box to map ignition, starters, radios, comms. Jesus Christ, man. Your sim is on a whole different level. Yeah, I would love to see that. That stuff fascinates the shit out of me. Like, when I've seen people with flight sim games and their setups, or even in Japan, you know, all the train games are super popular. Denshin to Go or something like that. Those games, people get some crazy setups. So yeah, that's always fascinated me. I've actually been playing a bit more VR over the past couple nights. Beat Saber's in there, but I've been playing with VR chat, which, oh my god, if you have not messed around with VR chat for any virtual reality headset, whether it be on PC or the Quest 2, which is how I'm playing it, fuck me, is that an experience. Yeah, I'm kind of alive. I don't... Like, I know this is going to sound really fucking stupid, be it that I'm streaming to the internet right now for anyone that feels like hanging out. But throw me in VR chat where I'm running around with other folks that are in their avatars and talking to people is the most terrifying fucking thing in the world to me. And I don't know why. Like, I'll go in there and I'll run around and look at stuff, and like, I downloaded avatars so it can look like Final Fantasy IX characters. Like, I got one for VV. I found a world where they did EverQuest, a couple different skins from there. So I got the skeleton skin for Ixar. If that means anything to you, awesome. If not, don't bother. You're not missing out on anything. But anyways, so I got all these cool skins, and I'm running around, I'm listening to people chat, and like, everyone's super nice, but fuck, I am intimidated beyond reason. And like, I guess they refer to people like me as mutes, which is, you know, derogatory, I guess, but, or pejorative, I don't know what the correct term is, but long and short, people don't like people like me because we don't talk, and therefore they feel uncomfortable that I'm not participating. But at the same time, it's like, it freaks me the fuck out being in those environments, and I would love to get comfortable with it, but it's just, it's in an entirely different world, man. And like, the other half of me is getting comfortable with the actual exploration and controls, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm super fascinated by just running around, or like, I was in a, I think it's called the Black Cat. It's a popular like lounge where it's like 2 floors, and you square it off with like 30 some other players that are in that same world. But it's just one of those things where, I don't know, like, it's super fun and fascinating, but everyone else is very comfortable with it. They understand how to get around. They you know, have all their different dance emotes, all their different avatars, and Like, all I gotta do is say hi, but I'm just so fucking scared of saying howdy. So, it's the fun of being an introvert. Which is, once again, I know, extremely bizarre, be it that I stream all the time, but... I don't know, them's the breaks. So right now I'm putting in all the rubber pegs, and then this guy should be a wrap, as far as this goes. So let's see if this guy... Oh god, that's so ugly. That's gonna bug the shit out of me. I'm definitely gonna go back to the other controls. Look at that, that looks hideous. What the hell's wrong with me? Ugh. Hang on one second, I just want to change... Camera is unfortunately bugging the shit out of me that it's this bright now. There we go. That's a little bit more natural to what I'm seeing. So, if you can see this, you see that white is basically neon at this point. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, so that's got to change at some point. So, let me throw in the memory card. And then this project is going to be done. Wish I remember which way the memory card goes. Okay, that looks like it's a go. Alright, let's turn this guy on. Power button up top. A couple seconds. We got to vibrate, and it looks like we're powering up, which is good. Oh, they're still going with the Final Fantasy VII battle music, aren't they? Oh, let me turn off that boob light. Hang on. So unfortunately, I do not have the HDMI mini cord. Otherwise, I could plug this in and stream this at this point. But I've never purchased that, the mini HDMI. I don't even know where to get those. I don't know if that's something you sell at your stores, Jesse, but it's not something I've ever encountered in the wild. So, welcome to Pocket Plus 2. You will like it. Let's get started. Next is R1, English. Joystick not calibrated. Please click here. You can mind your own business. Device is not connected to the internet. Let me open my settings. Use Wi-Fi. Maybe Newegg. That's not a bad idea. I know it sounds silly, but I often forget about that because I am not a PC gamer, so I never purchase anything from there. So let me connect to my 5G. I'm not going to show you all my password. That's a secret. If you ever come over, you need to ask me, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? If you see it now, you won't ask me that. Except I don't know how to jump to the keyboard, and touchscreen's not enabled. What if I hit select? Alright, so I'm going to have to figure that out later. So we will connect to Wi-Fi later. So let's go to next. Guess we will skip for now. Time zone, doesn't matter if I'm not connected. Enable Google Play services. I will not enable because I do not plan on playing any of those. So pre-installed apps include basically, choose to install them below, which is going to be all of my different retro systems: Nintendo 64, PSP, RetroArch. I don't know what Yaba is. Steam. That's interesting. So it's going to go ahead and install all those. So the next thing I have to do, aside from eventually fix how ugly this thing looks on the outside, maybe it'd be easier just to paint the controllers. I don't know. Is it came with these clear plastic shields. That way I can take the old board and basically make a floating sandwich with it, which with the HDMI out, I should say, I can then turn this into a TV usable display or console. So that is the rest of the stream. I'll go ahead and I guess assemble that. This is going to be fun for me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing at this point. The other part, I was able to kind of watch some stuff online. Get a good idea what to start. But as you can see, I've got all these wonderful screws and bolts and things, and don't quite know what they're asking from me. So, like, that doesn't actually screw in to any of these holes. And it's not long enough to go through to the other side, I think. Oh, just barely, if you can see that. Barely cuts through. Huh. Oh, so I guess that's going to be like stand. So if I kind of do, there's socket ones and then there's screw ones. So I can kind of do like a socket thing on both sides. So let me, I guess, just go ahead and start there. And I can screw into the other side with actual screws. So what else has everyone got going on tonight? Because I know that hanging out with me is not the coolest thing in the world to do tonight. And that all of you are missing out on some amazing things in the world that are going from the Christmas to New Year's. Like, is everyone actually working? I know I'm stuck working, but I was hoping someone has this week off. Because, woof. Capitalism, right? That's weird with this plastic, because it didn't come with, like, a shield or anything. It's just straight up plastic. So let's go ahead and get all that in place. I mean, outside of this, the only other thing I really had going on... Shit, I forgot which side. So I was watching some more 30 Rock. Trying to get caught up on that, and then... By caught up, I mean I started rewatching the whole thing. And I'm on midway through Season 2, and I'm enjoying my time with it. So, let's see. Get this screwed in. And that's been a good time. That's been a good stress reliever in between work. Right now, the Final Fantasy song we've moved on to is number 11, which is the legendary beast from Final Fantasy VIII. Once again, Final Fantasy VIII, amazing soundtrack. See, you're going to start The Sopranos tomorrow. Is that your first time through The Sopranos? Or is this a rewatch for you? Alright, so that is how we're going to do that. Oh, we've got to go away stirring. Yes, yes. First time, even as a big Mafia fan. I don't know many people that are pro-Mafia, but yes, you do you. I'm kidding, of course. Hi, Goya. Where did that other... here it is, Goya. Let's see, trying to line this up. I have never actually seen Sopranos. I know nothing about it. We've moved on to Final Fantasy X, Hymn of the Faith. I don't even have to look at the name. So right now I'm just kind of lining up screws to see what mostly looks like it makes sense. Wait, so if you're a big fan of Mafia, why have you not watched The Sopranos up until now? I didn't ask you, Goya. I know why you didn't watch it. You're a cat. You don't care for the Mafia. So I'm basically just doing a puzzle. Box sets were crazy expensive. Found a $300 Blu-ray for under 80 bucks. Holy shit. That is a big old steal there, my friend. Who on earth did you rob for that? I mean, I kind of had the same with a Buffy set where I found the DVD box set for like, I think it was like 70 bucks or something like that. Which normally I've seen it go for like 150. I consider that a steal. So good on you, my friend. One-day deal back in October. Very nice. Yeah, you definitely cleaned up then. Let's see, we have moved into Final Fantasy X's A Contest of the Aeons at number 10. So it was not the Hymn of the Faith. I was mistaken. But it did start with the Hymn of the Faith. Alright, so now that I've got things plugged in, and which all I did was, for this, there's another Wi-Fi antenna, so I connected that. And then there's a power source that is going to be separate on the device. So let me get these in place. Ah, fancy that. But how do I get you to stay in place? Stop moving. I guess I'm thinking about it backwards. I should probably... Yes, okay, that's what I should do, Chris. Wait, what? Did I do this backwards? Son of a bitch, I think I did. Also think of streaming F1, even though I should switch things up. What? Why would you switch things up? What is wrong with F1? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out... Ah, that's how I need to do it. I did it backwards. Kind of. I mean, if you're enjoying it, I don't see a reason why. I mean, I played through... Whenever I'm streaming a game, I generally will play it from start to finish until I'm done with it, so... which is why, like, I'm still working on Demon Souls right now. I finished Final Fantasy Crisis Core start to finish. A couple other games, too, in the interim, but... So how do I get this stuff to stay still? Ugh, I'm the worst at this. Yeah, definitely don't hire me, Jesse. Oh, that's why. Wait, no. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with this one. Bad okay at it. Well, I mean, you could stream Borderlands 3, but you would also hate it, so... Man, I just can't figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this right now. I clearly did not do my research as far as this goes and plugging this together. Use this screw to hold the very ends of the board in place. Yeah, the thing is that with these gold things, that I'm creating gaps that should not be there. So I think I assembled these incorrectly. Unfortunately, this part they did not include any sort of instructions, so this part is 100% me winging it. But I think what I should be doing is running the screws through this. But then I don't know. So if I do that, as you can see, I put the one through there. I wonder if I do that for all of the board, if that will make things better or worse, because these have holes to screw into them. And then what it does is it also creates a gap. That way, none of the circuit board is touching the plastic, which is probably what the intended use is. Would have been nice if they included some instructions on this one. The other one is a little bit more straightforward, but I think this might be right now because it creates a gap on both sides. That way I don't have an issue with anything touching. But then I don't have enough screws, I think, for what's left. But we'll see. Number 9 on the greatest Final Fantasy songs of all time comes in with Final Fantasy 15, up for the challenge. Interesting. There's got to be some recency bias to that, because, you know, I haven't seen anything from the SNES or NES era in the top 20 yet. And as much as I love my Yoko Shimomura, find it crazy that we have not seen anything from Final Fantasy 4 or 6 on this list. So, let's see. So, yeah, add the standoffs and then attach the plastic. These little gold things are called standoffs. So it looks like there are some standoffs, as you call them, that I'm using that I don't need to then, so... Ah, there we go, okay. So that's why I'm trying to cover all the holes that I don't actually need to use all the holes, so I match them up to the plastic. Thank you, that is an excellent idea, sir. So, let me see. So, I have 1, 2... Basically just trying to see where I have these standoff holes. 1, 2, so I need 2 more on this side. Okay. Which will make sense then, because the amount of screws I have will actually add up then. So, okay, good. I am butchering this part of it. And this isn't necessary for my enjoyment, because I doubt I'll actually hook this up to a TV at any point. But it feels weird to have parts sitting around that I'm not utilizing. Oh, son of a bitch. Where did that go? Goya's not having my shit tonight. I think Goya prefers our traditional streams, where he can actually go on camera, rub the microphone, have a good time. Alright, so there are the standoffs. Let's see, so now I can just kind of match up the hole, the standoffs, then I'm good. So you usually do is 1 screw in each opposite corner, everything else should automatically line up. Yes, that usually sometimes works for me. Sometimes. Sometimes it's a big fat no. But because as much as I'm butchering this, I actually do mess around. What I like to build is furniture, actually. So I definitely have my methods. And it's the same thing, it's just this is down to a micro scale. But furniture assembly is a lot of fun for me. My brother thinks I'm crazy, but like, if you give me like, I don't know, an IKEA, just some random shit you bought from IKEA, and you say, hey, figure this out, go have fun, I will, you come back 2 hours later, that will be built, and I will be happy as shit. And then I'll probably want you to buy me a pizza, because you just got free labor out of me. And this is kind of good practice, because I would like to still build one of those, not a CRISPR, that's the genome mapping thing. What are those called? Damn it, what is it called? The retro gaming thing that uses FGPA. Not a CRISPR, something like that. Anyway, so I still want to build one of those. No, not the Raspberry Pi. The one that Dave from the podcast is always going on about, where it's authentic replication of the hardware. Raspberry Pi is emulation. This was genuine gated. Oh, it's gonna fucking kill me. Mister, yes, thank you. Okay, this is definitely going on some recency bias. So number 8 is Lightning's theme from Final Fantasy 13. by Masashi Hamatsu. Which, fine track on its own, but the fact that it's beating out everything else Final Fantasy is wild to me. Absolutely wild. Because I would put anything from Final Fantasy VI up against this. And I know that is probably going to make some people I talk to not happy to hear, but I'm sorry. Them's just the rules. But, so this particular playlist that I'm listening to, the top 100 Final Fantasy songs, according to Science, what they do is they pulled a whole, and here's the problem too, so I have all these little rubber bumpers, and I don't know what I was supposed to use them for, but I didn't. So, I guess underneath I can use them as feet. But it's according to Science, meaning it's based off of like playlists and stuff like that, like how frequently they show up on YouTube or listen to or something like that. So, it's based off of people using and listening. So, a lot of people listening to the more recent tracks is going to divert it. That way they appear more favorable, if you will. Or higher on the rankings. Where's Chocobo Racing? I will be definitely picking up Chocobo Racing. That looks like a good time. The Chocobo GP. Because I don't remember the last time I played, like, a new kart racer, if you will. I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, in my opinion, is just a fancy Wii U port. And I played that on Wii U in, like, 2014. So, I guess 2014 was the last time that I played a kart racer. So, yeah, so it'll be at that point 8 years. So, I look forward to playing that. Should be a good time. So, when all's said and done, I got all my screws in, and I still have 2 left over, so that's a little concerning. But, so here's the finished product. So I have, I don't know which is the top and bottom, but basically I've got my power over here for the battery. So I plug that in, and then in theory, with the HDMI mini out, this is now effectively a Retro Pi. So that's pretty cool. It's a little backup. Sometimes you just do. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is one of those times. So I'm just going to use these little sticky spacer things, because I don't know what they were originally intended for. Actually, why aren't they... Huh. That's weird. So they're actually... I didn't realize they have holes right through them. I thought they were stuck to this plastic, but... What is this for? I don't know. I'm still using them as feet. So I will go ahead and I'll pop these down under the screws on the bottom. And this is probably entirely wrong, but this makes sense in my head. Because then these screws won't be scratching whatever I connect them to. Or whatever surface I put it on. As I scratch my desk up as I put it on the desk. Anyways, so we'll do that. Why didn't you guys yell at me for not having something underneath this thing the whole time? Come on. Thought y'all were my friends. So we'll put some little booties on this, and then we more or less have a Retro Pi. Okay, cool. So there's the freebie that came with my upgrade now. I actually kind of like it. Just from a display visual standpoint. So I don't know what I'll do with it, but I kind of like it. Maybe I'll take it to work and hook it up there. And then since I'm done with all my upgrades, I can just take the little tomb, put my little retro console in there for now, and then seal it up with a secret. Oh, although, I'll flip that over so that's on the right side. And there we have it. Completely done. I'll put on top all my leftover pieces, because I have some baggies. So I have some leftover screws. Like I said, I'll hold on to this in case I want to switch the buttons out later, which I almost guarantee I will. Little D-pad. Backup rubbers. That's trash. Don't need that. I will hold on to these guitar picks because they did find themselves to be quite useful, and if I open this up again, I'll need them. Alright, so cleaning that up, that's all in there. I'll keep the screwdriver with the set. My player kits, or whatever you want to call those, I'll keep separate. So I've got everything in one nice little coffin, put all that together. And then we can seal it right back up in the box that it came in. And I can hold on to that until I figure out what I want to do with it. Who knows, maybe I'll gift it to someone. So what, a Retro Pie is, what, 30, 40 bucks? So, save someone a little bit of money. Let me gather some of these pieces, that way Goya doesn't go chomping on them. Let me reset the camera, and then we can continue the stream a little bit more traditionally at that point. So, if you want to give me 5 minutes, I'll get some water, maybe you get some food, and then we can hang out a little bit more. We do have Final Fantasy 8, Greatest Songs Ever. Number 8 is Blinded by Light from Final Fantasy 13, which I would agree makes the top 20 list. So it is a fantastic track. But, let me AFK while I reset all the camera and stuff. So, we'll go with the BRB screen. Alright, hello, hello, hello. Still figuring out the setup a little bit. But I think I got a game for us to play. Let me fix some of this. Dun, 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 dun. So hopefully some folks hung around. If not, I understand. And no hard feelings. Some of that. Do that. So, hi, hello. So I think what I'm going to do, and by think I mean I know, I'm going to continue because I'm in the mood for Final Fantasy, and we will jump ahead and play some Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remastered. So, let me jump into here. Gotta fix this video signal. Let's go. Let's see, swing that around a little bit. Alright, so where did my game go? So let's hide that. Window being captured. We'll change that. Then let me update my message. And so Steam. Oh, I have to actually load the game. Forgot about that part. We don't actually care what my Steam looks like. Alright, so properties, we'll change that to... Ah, wonderful. So let's get rid of the window. Let's change the game being captured. Properties. Sorry, running streams, as you know now, is kind of goofy to deal with. So game capture. There we go. Final Fantasy. Let's see. And last but not least, give me just 1 second while I reset the stream message. How do I do that? It's an excellent question. I need to get good with Jesse. I need to get good with like taking clips and all this other jazz. It is fancy, wonderful way for us to hang out and talk about it afterwards. So in settings, stream, yes, we'll go with that. Audio. Let's turn this. Oof, that was a big jump. Should be. I think it's both. Like, that's something that viewers can do. Like, I think there's just like a slash clip or something like that, and it saves like the last 30 seconds. Something like that. I don't know. I need to figure it out. FIFA. No, Maury. This is Final Fantasy, which is FIFA. You just broke my world. Final Fantasy is FIFA. I don't know how I feel about that. Woof. Okay, well that's the thing. Let's make sure my controller, it's not working. That's a problem. Oh, now it is. What a weird thing. Yep, FIFA. Yeah, that's I'm not okay with that. Hang on just 1 second. The stream's gonna cut for 4 seconds and come back.